There's my timer. It's go time. All right.
All right. So my academy.
I'm gonna start the timer there. Start the timer there. Hello, everyone. My name is Dio Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and you're watching the Gold Squadron Flight Club. Today, we have Luke Thompson versus Brian Gambrell in the Stolen TIE Fighter List Building Challenge. Should be pretty awesome. The players as well only are able to bring 3 ships. And this does not count towards their, not including the TIE Fighter they get, and all the ships have to be different. My co-host for today is...
Hello, everyone. This is Alex Farley from the Tucson Raider Squadron.
Woo woo. All right, Alex. So we're about to get into it. Let's go ahead and break down those lists as I get the Choose Your Champion betting open.
Whisper. 2 bank. I'm going to go ahead and put some force tokens out on my guys.
You can go ahead and break down the list, Alex.
Oh, sorry, my bad. All right, so it looks like Luke here is playing some Rebels, and for his squad today, he has, let's see, not including the Stolen TIE Fighter, he has a, wow, that is a very hefty wedge. Wedge with servomotor S-foils, crack shot, proton torpedoes, R2 astromech, and afterburners. I think that is the absolute most charges I have ever seen on a wedge before. Next, we have Harrison Dula with Crackshot and Saw Gerrera, and Jake Farrell with no upgrades whatsoever. Now, on the Imperial side, it looks like Brian has a variation of Ollie's list from Worlds, where he has Darth Vader with Fire Control System, Afterburners, Fifth Brother with Passive Sensors and Homing Missiles, and Whisper with Juke, Fire Control System, BT-1, and Targeting Computer.
All right, Alex, what are your thoughts on this list? If you were playing Choose Your Champion at home, what are you picking?
Oh, man. We obviously have seen variations of this Imperial squad several times, and it works really, really well. However, part of me really wants to vote for the Rebel squad, because you have this really beefy Hera throwing out 4 dice with Saw Gerrera, so that you're going to get some hits. And then Wedge is a menace against pretty much anything in front of him. And this Wedge has some tools at his disposal, especially with afterburners and proton torpedoes. I think I'm going to go with the Rebels on this one.
All right, I think that's a good call. He basically just needs you need one good shot into these Imperials to make them running scared. So I think Hera has the ability to do that. We do know that Brian, actually, let me go ahead and switch that on your screen. Sorry about that. Brian won the initiative roll, but passed it over to Luke, of course, wanting Hera not to be able to have perfect information on at least Whisper, but Fifth Brother is still potentially in danger.
That's actually very important, that Hera cannot see where Whisper is going to be before choosing whether or not to change her dial. Although Whisper, once she decloaks, doesn't have as many maneuver options as something like Vader or Fifth Brother. So I don't know if that will actually come too much into play.
Yeah, seeing where the decloak goes definitely gives you a lot of information, especially like there's definitely a set of moves that Whisper likes to do. The most common ones are 1 banks and 1 hearts. So after seeing that decloak, you can have an idea of at least the area where to point your arc. I think Brian's got to be careful not to be too predictable in the game.
Now, I definitely like this approach from Brian with his Imperials, because he's gotten this TIE Fighter of his out here on the flank. Vader's also on flank, and Whisper can either be like head-on with the Rebel players, or can be on that flank as well, where Fifth Brother is more directly in front of them. So I'm a little worried for Fifth Brother, because there's only so much that he can do. But at the same time, I actually just really like the spread out position that Brian has put his Imperials in.
Yeah, the Empire is definitely a master of being able to to keep the ships spread out really well, but be able to close at the right time. You still have to time it well. The ships obviously don't do it by themselves, but he has the tools to do it. Obviously, he was able to bring that afterburners on Vader. That can be really valuable using the 3-bank or and getting Vader into an attack position or saving it as a defensive weapon, which is also a very good use of afterburners.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I'm looking at the maneuver of these rebels. It's very standard, like rebel block formation, where you want to have most of your guns pointing in the same direction because that's just what they do. But I'm pretty concerned with the fact that all of these Imperials are over here on the flank, and there doesn't seem to be like a really good way to engage them next turn, especially with Wedge and Jake.
So a couple people are asking, why does Whisper have Force?
That's a very good question. I think those Force are supposed to belong to Fifth Brother, and they just accidentally moved with Whisper.
I think you are 100% correct. I'll just go ahead and get that flippy floppied real quick. That's just TTS being TTS. Sometimes you end up stealing tokens from another ship.
Yep. Now, one thing I don't want to forget about is Fifth Brother does have those homing missiles, which is a very powerful combination for Fifth Brother with his pilot ability of being able to decide to spend the Force to just add in an extra crit result when the attack is considered to have hit, which does go on top of homing missiles, just free damage if the defender chooses to take that instead of the 4 dice.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of situations where people have been like, throw the 4 dice, and then it ends up being 5 hits because you end up getting 4 after the target lock, and then you use 2 Force to add the additional crit. So we definitely got to think twice before telling somebody to just go ahead and roll those 4 dice when it's Fifth Brother, because he has the tools to make it hurt even more.
And he has passive sensors, so he can acquire that lock at the beginning of it, well, whenever he engages, so that he can hit something like Wedge, who would normally not be within his range before, like, he moves. So I think that's going to be a very key piece, where Wedge has to be fairly careful here to not get double tapped by both Vader and Fifth Brother.
Now, before we go too far, I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching today. You guys are awesome. Thank you, fam. And remember, if you haven't been watching, or maybe you haven't been watching for a while, when you guys are hanging out with me here, you guys are part of my family. That's why I call you guys the fam. People have been asking, like, oh, you guys should come up with some kind of cool name for us. You're the fam. That's it. It's that simple. All right? So thank you for being here. I love you. And let's have some fun watching X-Wing today. Remember, we have 3 games total today, and I want to just reiterate the thanks for the support, because right now we do have an application into Twitch trying to get that Twitch partnership, and for the last couple weeks we have been well above that 75 viewer mark for our weekly content. So thank you guys so much, and I'm looking forward to being able to get you guys it's a whole mess of fun emotes that we can start messing around with. Now, one thing that might be a little telling is I did get in my email a notice that now I can swap out emotes immediately without requiring approval, which is cool. So could have a little bit of fun with that, but I'll let you guys know once I hear some more stuff. So looks like Luke is turning in the TIE Fighter.
Oh yeah. Definitely turning that TIE Fighter in and barreled closer to that rock. So he's going to have no tokens to defend with, but I'm hoping he's not leaving it too far out to dry this turn, because I don't know like how much Hera can actually support it. And it looks like Brian is choosing to not get engaged with Fifth Brother quite yet. Didn't want to charge her in there when Hera could just be, gunning him down from, those 4 dice guns.
Yeah, I mean, I get being cagey with it, but you got to be careful not to be too hesitant to get into the fight, because you could end up what you call it? Sorry, I just got distracted.
No, it's almost like he's not contributing this early in the fight, and it might take him a couple turns before he is.
Yes.
Wow, that is really close maneuver with Wedge. Looks like he's going for the lock, though, at least on this turn, to see if he can deal some decent damage to Whisper.
I mean, he's got that Proton Torpedo.
Well, at least thankfully Whisper decided to barrel roll to get the obstruction. Ooh, Vader only doing the one bank, so no afterburners options, but I think the only thing within range will be that TIE Fighter.
Yeah, he might be able to get some damage in early. I mean, while the TIE Fighter isn't worth any points in this format, at least getting it off the table can avoid blocking and just shenanigans. That extra couple
damage. And if Whisper
damage.
doesn't spend that evade, if Whisper doesn't spend that evade, that juke is going to be very important for the TIE Fighter who has no tokens either.
All right, looks like Vader's just hanging out there. Probably won't have a shot now.
All right, let's get that Proton Torpedo going.
So it's going to be 4 versus 2 because Wedge normally would be 3 defense dice for Whisper, but the Wedge ability. Here we go. Oh, spend the focus. Good. That's going to be 3 hits and a crit. Let's see what comes in.
Oh, went out of the box.
All right. He's definitely going to spend the evade there.
No crit to the hole today.
All right, 2 shields are down. That is a fast way to start doing some damage. Fight Club, let's go.
And the important part about that is he didn't spend the lock, so he doesn't have to worry about Jake passing him a focus next turn because he can just do it himself. Oh no, he is within range of Hera.
He is within range. Oh my goodness, just barely in.
That is one of the closest arc checks I have seen. Oh,
Hera has a focus. You definitely spend it. See if you can just erase Whisper here.
I don't know why. Well, okay, I guess now you see it, and Whisper's dead. But I'm surprised he didn't end up doing Saw to make those crits just in case Whisper rolled natty evades.
He just had faith.
Just had the faith. Yep.
He just had the faith.
Yep, Whisper just died outright. Now, in the return shot, who do you think Whisper should shoot at here with no tokens?
I mean, you go at Wedge. Oh. That's your best chance of doing damage.
And that is a very fast Whisper off the table. That's going to be very hard for the Imperials to come back.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Just roll natties, I guess.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's
all right. Let's get half points.
This is a very explosive turn. The crit is... What was it? Panicked Pilot. Uh-oh.
It's funny at the table. They're like, "Are these GSP dice modded for this crazy drama?" Right. Looks like we have some TIE Fighter on TIE Fighter action here.
Oh, okay, 2 hits.
There's the
Imperial TIE Fighter.
Man.
Yeah, that was a very strong turn for the Rebel player. And without Fifth Brother in there, there was just no extra damage.
Yep, and then of course now you have Vader essentially by himself. I think if I'm Luke, you have the opportunity now to ignore the TIE Fighter a little bit. You have to watch out for blocking, but you can essentially take both Wedge and Hera and start pointing at Vader because the biggest threat, which was Whisper, is no longer on the flank.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. And I don't know if that Imperial TIE Fighter could actually get into a blocking position if everything turns in on Vader. Because Hera, as much as you don't want to block with her, could easily block a lot of those fast maneuvers so that Vader can't get out. And the TIE Fighter, I think the Rebel TIE Fighter just, is going to 3-bank here or something. Slide right in between those two asteroids and be in a great spot for a side shot.
Agreed. Now, I am sure that the 58% of the field who bet on the Empire because they saw Whisper, Vader, and Fifth Brother they're a little sad out there. Okay, give me a rip in the chat or an F in the chat if you're one of the 58%.
I mean, I'm not one of the 58%, but I still said F.
Yeah.
Because that just feels bad. You don't want to see Whisper going out on the first turn of engagement.
Agreed. So it looks like the dials are set to go.
All right.
All
One
right,
hard for the TIE Fighter.
I like the move.
There's that 3-bank.
I mean, I think he realized what you were saying, Alex, where he couldn't really get the TIE Fighter in a blocking spot, so you just turn and hope that your gun can shoot against something that you can actually get points against.
Mm-hmm. Now, normally Jake sits here and tries to pass actions over to Wedge so he can have double-mounted torpedoes, but with that Panic Pilot, he can't do it. However, there's still Hera with a 4-die gun that he can pass that focus to, and now she can get a double-modded attack. The action efficiency is incredibly powerful.
Absolutely. Jake is fantastic. When you have a player that really understands how to keep him relevant and being able to give those double-modded shots, that then you add that extra layer when a player can do that and also keep Jake's gun in the fight. Oh man, that is a glorious recipe.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Let's see, Fifth Brother does the passive sensors, hoping to have something within range. Hera just pointing the gun toward Vader where he wants to escape to.
Where are you gonna go, Vader? And
going
then
for the lock.
With taking that focus, you also just avoid. You bring Saul in order to get the double mods on your own, but with the focus passing, you can just avoid taking damage to do modifiers. I'm fine with it. Oof, Wedge.
Okay.
Hello.
Wedge choosing not to shed any stress and just like, nope, hi TIE Fighter, I'm here. I'm still gonna shoot you.
Yep, he's going the long way around. He essentially will end up on the flank of Vader and Fifth Brother after a couple turns.
Mm-hmm. Though Vader, if he turns in toward Wedge, could possibly get outside of Hera's arc and just put in like a crit. Oh, that's a good move. I like that.
Oh man, does he have any burners?
The question is, do you barrel roll? Because that's awfully close to that rock.
Yeah, you do.
Don't care.
So I would rather not take a 5-die shot, and now here's your chance to kill Wedge.
Indeed, and it looks like Wedge won't even get a chance to retaliate against Vader.
This is going to be interesting because that Wedge is 82 points. Whisper was 71. If this is the trade, honestly, Brian ends up ahead.
Agreed. That's when you get to the problem of having this many points on an X-Wing, is they can go down really quick.
All right, here's Wedge. No modifiers.
He might just one-shot this TIE Fighter. 3 crits. Oh my god.
3 crits. Hey, he got an evade. Crit.
Okay. So
Blinded,
console
still alive.
fire. He's still alive, but he could die when he engages because he's got a console fire and a blinded pilot now. And now Vader's shot. Let's see if Wedge survives. It is obstructed though.
All right, let's find out what happens on this shot.
See. Oof, only one hit. He does have the lock though.
Oof. You change it to a crit, yep.
Then spends the lock. Okay. Gonna go ahead and spend. Is he spending a force or a focus?
He's going to go for the
spending
force.
his force. Okay, he should be rolling one more die because it is obstructed. On
Oh,
defense.
it is obstructed.
Hold on.
They're not reading the chat.
Nope. Oh, okay. They finally picked it up. See if it mattered. It didn't matter.
Nope.
And that's a dead wedge.
Oof. All right, there's the trade. Console Fire is going to go off first.
I'm liking the Imperial's chances that much more with that trade because that's one Proton Torpedo and crack shot not being used.
Yeah, absolutely, and you pay a ton of points for that. Console Fire, the bonus TIE Fighter is gonna die, but does get to shoot. Get some. I shoot at Hera here.
Yeah, try to get some damage to Hera because you need to start taking that thing down. Oh, he's going after the TIE Fighter.
Yep, the Zeb TIE Fighter gets to shoot first. Again, anybody who's joining us, the TIE Fighters are bonuses into their in their list. Hit crit going into Vader.
Safe.
And was able to get out. Here. I mean, because Hera's actually worth points, you go at the TIE Fighter.
Yep, he's
again,
going at... Yeah, he's going after Hera, it looks like.
Whiffs.
Didn't even matter. That's sad. When you lose a ship to a console fire and then they don't even roll paint. Ugh. Things are starting to not look so good for the Rebels. But, I mean, there's still Hera on board who can dish out plenty of damage.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have Fifth Brother there at the top of the board. If I'm Hera, I'm just kind of keep it casual and make sure that you have a shot on Fifth Brother for a couple turns. Don't stress yourself if you can, and then K-turn behind him and continue the onslaught.
Yeah, I think the best move for Hera at this point is just go one straight, because I don't think Fifth Brother can block that. Maybe with a 3-bank and a boost? But that's risky in case Hera decides to do the 4K instead.
Hello to the 105 beautiful people out there watching. Let us know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where you guys are. I'm actually going to put a poll up on the screen, and you can let us know. Give me 1 second. You should see that pop up. There you go, on your left side. So how's it been out there, Alex, in Raider country?
It's been hot. It's been very hot recently. We've recently been having temperatures upwards of like 105 degrees each day.
Man. No, thank you.
Other than that, though, I mean, it's been pretty nice. Weather's been relatively peaceful. Other than that, although we did have a mountain catch on fire, might have been in the news for you guys.
I honestly stay away from the news, but I'm. Is your mountain okay?
Yeah, it was several weeks ago. We had a thunderstorm that actually struck the mountain when it was incredibly dry and just caught the entire thing on fire. It's been pushed out further up north. I think it's been dying down. I haven't been hearing as much about it recently, but it might still be going.
Wow. Well, condolences to your mountain.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So, what if you were flying today? What and you were assigned a rebel list, Alex? Do you know maybe what kind of list you'd bring with the current restrictions?
So only 3 ships.
Only 3 ships, and they all have to be different initiatives.
Okay. Well, I like the idea of having Wedge. Wedge is probably one of my biggest staples whenever I build a rebel list these days. I also like Luke, so I think I might have tried to do like both a combo of Wedge and Luke together.
Yeah, because they're 6 and 5. Yeah.
But yeah, 6 and 5, and if I were to do that, I probably would have done a similar Wedge, but not nearly as many upgrades on him. But like have both Wedge, Luke with Proton Torpedoes, and then a U-Wing. I really like K2SO.
Yeah.
As a support ship in there because he can coordinate and still get a calculate token, and he's still a 3-die gun.
Yep.
So that's what I probably would have done if I were playing Rebels. So I'm not as familiar with the
wait a second. You
Fighter
have to have all. Yeah, you have to have all 3 different ships. So you can't have 2 X-wings.
Oh, that's right. Can't have 2
Yeah,
X-wings.
can't have 2
I
X-wings.
forgot about that rule. At that point, I might try if I can fit in Lando and the Falcon, because I really like his action economy.
Good call. Good call. Now, real quick, want to remind you guys, if you have Twitch Prime, don't forget to hit that button every 30 days. It does not auto-renew. You do have to click it. We really appreciate it here at Gold Squadron. It's a really easy and free way to support the podcast. If you're looking for other ways to support us, we have Patreon, we have a web store, all that kind of stuff. You actually can go ahead and type !support, and there's a list of things there. If you can, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. We love you. Just hang out. Let's have fun. Also, if you want to become a part of the Flight Club and you want to participate in one of my list building challenge weekend events, go ahead and type !Flight Club. These are all people from our community. We do it all, organize it all through Discord, as well as the commentators. So it's great fun for me, and I know that you guys are digging it too. It's awesome. All right, so do we think Darth Vader can fit a 4K where he's at? Do you think he would do a 4K?
Let's see. Oh, that's a real tight spot there. I don't think the 4K works. But I'm liking, honestly, I think more likely a 3-bank afterburners is really viable here to go after Jake.
All right.
So we're getting a 2-bank out of the Rebel TIE Fighter, just keeping guns on target. This is the turn of, let's see if we can kill Fifth Brother.
Yeah, you essentially just set the net and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Too hard from Jake.
He's going to give himself a focus.
Yep. Is he going to boost and give Hera one too? Yes, there it is.
Oh yeah, Jake using his ability to the fullest, able to pass out 2 focus actions a turn. Now remember, the ship that you're passing it to cannot be stressed. It is a focus action. It's a common misunderstanding. It's not just a random focus token.
So it looks like Fifth Brother is still not ready to engage. I feel like he's spending too much time not doing anything.
You know, there's always that balance, and I know I struggle with it. I'm sure other players too. It's like when you feel like you're on the ropes, right? And you're afraid to get a ship shot. Sometimes, like running away or doing some type of move like this, where you're just kind of starting to fly in the opposite direction, can be a bad thing. Because you can end up just getting cut off on the pass with your ship. You basically end up giving up the flank when you turn this way. Sometimes by going into the fight, it's faster to get out of the fight. I feel like I just gave some type of like mantra. In order to end the war, you must enter the war. Alrighty.
So it looks like Hera originally revealed a 1 straight and then used her ability to switch it to a 2 straight, and now is within range 3 of Fifth Brother to get a shot.
Nice.
So it looks like Vader is choosing not to burn an Afterburner's charge to go after Jake here.
Yeah, I think because he only has 1 force, because he would have to do the Afterburners and barrel roll most likely to get the shot. So just kind of just save the turn, hang out, and wait.
Well, that's fair, but people sometimes forget that Vader does have the ability to focus and then do a red barrel roll.
Oh, you're right, sir.
So what I would have expected is a Afterburners boost, acquire the lock, then spend the force to focus, and then you link that into the red barrel roll.
All right, 2 shields down on Fifth Brother. Hera was able to get 4 hits and only 2 evades coming up for Fifth Brother.
That's pretty big, because that's half points on Fifth Brother now.
Mm-hmm. That brings Luke
Rebels
ahead,
now
96-82.
Yeah. And there looks like no other shots. So, and Dion, you asked me if I were to bring a Rebel list to this, what would I be playing? If you were to bring Imperial with the same restrictions, what would you be doing?
Honestly, my list would look almost identical to what's here. I might, for funsies, have brought Echo. I'm terrible with Echo, but just for the fun, just for funsies, I may have brought her and then swapped out the Initiative 5 for some other thing, maybe Duchess.
I mean, if you were doing Echo for the Phantom slot, you could go up to Grand Inquisitor for if you were doing still the
very true, very true.
Yeah.
Very,
I
very
mean, we
true.
know how effective Grand Inquisitor can be, being able to add in that range 1 bonus.
Oh, yeah. And just also the defensive ability of being able to take away the 1 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you guys, this is something completely not necessarily related to this game, but I'm very excited about. Today, my new desk is arriving at some point during the cast. I'm getting a standing desk. I sit so much here that like the standing desk is gonna be a life changer, just to be able to work with a little less hip pain, having to sit all the time. I am super jazzed about that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I know it's not related to the game in any way. I'm just excited because the first 3 of 4 packages already showed up today, but the tabletop is on another thing. So if you guys hear me all of a sudden get really quiet, that's because my alert went off that it's been delivered. No, and I have to probably run down to accept the package. I'll be like, Alex.
There's nothing wrong with being excited about that sort of thing. So what do you think the maneuvers choices are this round? Vader is now behind the entire Rebel force, so they're gonna have to turn on him at some point.
All right, Jake coming in, pointing at Vader. Jake could get flanked if Vader did the talent roll here. Yeah, exactly.
Though, do you think a barrel roll would actually block the Talon roll? A barrel roll right?
Oh, it could.
Oh,
there it is. He's going for it. He's going for it.
Well, he's trying to choose which barrel roll he wants to have.
Mm-hmm.
Decided to go with the forward one. I really like that move. Because if the Talon roll gets blocked, I think the 2 hard is also blocked here.
I think you're right. And the strategy here, just keeping Vader occupied with Jake while Hera finishes off Fifth Brother, absolutely huge. Then you can just swing Hera back around, and it's essentially Vader versus everybody. Okay, adding the boosts in there.
I don't know if I would have done that, because I don't think you block the Talon roll now. Then again, if you don't block the Talon roll, I think it's not a target lock shot, so it's not as devastating as it could be.
True.
I think we see the 1 hard out of Hera here, just to keep that gun pointing on target.
Yep. All right, took an evade.
Okay, Fifth Brother, yep, goes for the evade. Doesn't want to just only have 2 evade results this time around.
Yeah.
Especially against a 4-die attack.
Uh-huh. Could be 5 if Hera manages to get into range 1.
Oh, so she reveals the 4K, it looks like.
But she has a shenanigans.
Change it to the 1.
And yes,
looks
he does.
Like she is. Yeah.
He elects it.
There it is. Nice move.
Does he still have arc?
I don't think he does.
All right, that could be good. That's good.
Yeah, I think Fifth Brother is just out.
All right, this could be the Empire's chance to do some damage, because Hera is target locked by Vader. Let's get some afterburner action here. Come on, Vader. Get in there.
Oh, yeah. Totally should do that. Oh, there's the afterburners trigger. He did pop it.
All right.
Not sure why he's flipping a force over. Yeah, he can't do that. He can't use his ability to then take a focus because he's still stressed. Got 2 hits, rerolling with fire control.
It doesn't end up mattering anyway.
It matters because he spent the force for it.
Oh, true that. True that.
Let's see. Looks like Fifth Brother's going into Hera. Gets 1 hit. I think there's some discussion of whether or not he should be able to
I can hear
spend
them.
the force. Yeah.
All right, 1 hit on Hera from Fifth Brother.
Hera didn't roll any defense dice yet.
Oh,
gets the evade, so Fifth Brother can't use his ability.
That's right. You are required to hit in order to actually use Fifth Brother.
Yep. Alright, we got a range 2 from the TIE Fighter. No mods, though, so most likely isn't going to hit. Definitely not. There's an evade token.
doesn't even worry about rolling those evade dice because he still has the evade token.
Right. So now Vader is fairly easily on the flank here, and I don't think there's going to be a good opportunity for anything to turn on in him other than the TIE Fighter with a K-turn.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's going to do a whole lot. Hera is stressed, so Vader can just, come up behind and put some more damage in. Jake can't turn in on him either. I think he has to capitalize on Fifth Brother.
Agreed. And just so that we can see it, I'm going to go ahead and move that stress over, just so that it's very obvious that Hera is stressed.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, I'm looking forward to the day where I can fly out places and stream X-Wing for you guys again on the road, but we cannot deny the convenience of TTS.
Agreed. Man.
Or it's like, what
even
is this
before
token?
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even before everything, TTS allowed us, locally even, to play games when we didn't want to leave our homes.
Yep.
But yes, I can't wait to get back out there and start playing real games with people again once it's safe.
That's right. Now, real quick, to answer a couple questions in the chat, people were asking about Vader. Why could he not do the focus after the burners? So, yes, Vader's ability says that after you perform an action, you can spend the Force to do an action. But the word action is the problem/issue here, because when you are stressed, you are not allowed to do any actions whatsoever unless an ability specifically says that you can do an action while stressed. So that is why I went ahead and just gave him a little note letting him know that the focus had to be taken back there and that was incorrect.
And Afterburners is one of those cards that specifically says that you can perform a boost action after you go fast enough, even while stressed.
Yeah, exactly. The boost action on there is A-OK. Pretty good.
It's a really, really powerful upgrade, especially on Vader, who can use it to get actions even when he would be denied them by like an obstacle or something.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, he's not the Dark Lord of the Sith for nothing.
Facts. Now, somebody here said Vader could go over a gas cloud with a 3-speed burners and then do the ability. Absolutely. That has nothing to do with stress. Fine. Assuming he wasn't stressed before the 3-bank, yeah, go for it.
Well, they say 3 straight. Because I think the 3 straight is blue, so as long as he doesn't have more than 1 stress, he'd be fine with that too.
True. I think they just said a 3. They said a 3. So who knows?
Yeah.
So here's a question for everybody out there. As you guys may have heard, there's going to be the FFG live stream at the end of the July, where they're going to be announcing something for X-Wing. Would you guys like a reaction stream where we're like streaming it and I'm there in the corner reacting and talking about what they're doing? Would you rather have a post stream? Both? Just curious what you guys want. Let me know. Of course, I'm going to be here watching. I guess doing a reaction stream doesn't hurt anybody. I can do a post stream. I can do both.
I think a post stream probably would give more, because then, like, a lot of times when people do these reveal streams, people are going to be more focused on that more than like the reaction stream, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, that's my personal take on it. What I would want to do.
Mm-hmm. Looks like most people are on the side of Por qué no los dos.
I also see an Arwen reaction stream.
Yes, Arwen reaction stream. Poppy, I like that chip.
Which one's her favorite ship today?
Yeah, exactly. She's a fan of TIE Fighter. She really likes them.
does the 2 bank with Hera and doesn't bump into Fifth Brother. So Fifth Brother could choose to shoot her in the back.
That's right. Reinforcing the back, though.
But he did take a lock on Jake, so he can pop that homing missile.
All right. Loses the stress, takes the focus, already has that lock established. So that's pretty much all he needs.
Yeah.
If he had space to barrel roll, that'd be sweet to be able to possibly flank Hera's reinforce. But irrelevant. Here we go. One of each. Oops.
Looks
Yeah,
like
that was a hit there.
Oh, yeah. Looks like
It was a hit. He
fire
accidentally
control system?
highlighted it. Yep.
Okay, fire control system and gets the 3rd.
There we go. Hit, crit.
So Hera's... And that's a crit to Hera's hull. What'd she get?
Disabled power regulator. That's what was in the box.
Okay, alright. So that won't be in effect for a while, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Just means that she needs to turn around before she gets that 3rd eye on.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, looks like Jake is going to be shooting into Fifth Brother at range 2.
All right, only
Gets
one.
I mean, it's fairly average.
He's got it.
Plenty of evades. Perfectly fine.
All right. Possible big shot here from Fifth Brother.
Is he spending the homing missile, or is he shooting into Hera?
I go into hit Hera.
Well, he's thinking about it.
Hera is the puncher in that list.
That's true.
Because you could possibly do 3 damage, like natty 3s. Then you could add the crit at the end, or whatever
Yep,
you do. You just add the crit at the end.
Yep, it looks like he went into Hera.
Yep. So it's 1 damage.
Depends on if he wants to conserve his force or not.
So he's electing not to spend the force to get the crit. I think he's unsure of the timing of reinforce and the ability.
He also wants to maybe save his force for this shot, just in case.
True.
Safe.
All right, so that TIE fighter whiffs, and they're back to dials. You know, even though it did only 1 damage, that I think it was still worth it. He's creeping towards that half points on Hera, which is a big chunk. Big chunk. The
right,
Ghost has 14, 1 away. 1 away.
1 away, and that would be, what, like 40 points added to the score?
Mm-hmm.
That's a significant chunk. And Hera has to do the 4K here, I think. Needs to get that gun back in the fight. Another benefit of doing that extra damage into Hera is it makes it a little bit tougher of a decision whether or not she wants to use Saw for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, essentially, if Luke decides to do the Saw, he's giving up half points. It's like, here, have some points. If it's a situation where you can kill a ship, you go for it. But you still ends up being a little bit hesitant. So it looks like a majority of the... Go ahead.
Well, here's a hypothetical. If Fifth Brother's at range 3 with an evade token, right? And double force. And you have the ability to, you roll your 4 dice with Hera and you get 4 focuses. do you give up half points to show him 4 crits?
Yes.
You think so? Even if
Yeah.
he's rolling 4 defense dice with 2 force and an evade?
Oh, and in no.
Yeah.
No. No. I guess, you know what? It I would say if it's the last turn of the game. Oh, but dang, does Vader have arc on me? I'm sorry, does Fifth Brother have arc on me in the situation?
I don't know. I'm looking at it mostly for this next turn. I don't know if Fifth Brother's going to be able to get arc on Hera without having to deal with maybe that asteroid. I guess it does really depend on what turn it is, I guess.
Yeah, it's just really dependent. It depends on what you can get out of it. Now, real quick, I did put another poll there on the screen. What's your favorite faction? Let's see which faction is out in force this evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're watching from at this moment in time. Very easy. If you've never participated in our polls before, you see the numbers next to each of the factions. Just type the number and press enter. That's how you just let us know what's your favorite faction. Go ahead, Alex.
I was just going to say, it looks like First Order is coming out with a pretty strong lead out of the gate for that poll. Though Scum's creeping up, and so is Rebel.
Yeah, those First Order fans, they're quite fanatical.
What's your favorite faction, Dion?
Oh, man. I always have a hard time answering this question. I think most people would say that my favorite is Empire, but I don't know. I struggle to answer this question. I probably have to end up saying it's the Rebels just because they're like the classic good guys. But I really do play everything.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what? I'll put up the poll. And most of you have been watching a lot. You guys have watched me for a while now. And I'll ask you after this poll, what faction do you think is Dion's favorite? Would you say is my favorite? I'm curious. I used to play a lot of Scum in first edition, but that's because Scum was just stupid good. It wasn't because it's my favorite. It's like, oh wait, this is the most broken stuff in the game. Sure, let's play that.
See, Scum's always been my favorite. Even when I first started playing, not knowing what the meta was going to be like in first edition, as soon as I saw Scum's, this is what I want to do. This is my thing. And it definitely still is, even though Empire, I believe, is doing, I think, the most consistent victories in tournaments. Now, if you're Luke this turn, what do you do with this TIE fighter?
Oh man, it moves before anything else. Maybe you try to throw a block at Vader, 5 straight, 4 straight. You kind of want to end up. Let's see, what would that move be? Yeah, I think 5 straight. 5 straight is a good spot because it blocks Vader's 1 bank, which I think is a pretty safe move for Vader.
Well, Jake can almost do the same thing and doesn't have a whole lot of... I don't think Jake's going to have a whole lot to shoot at this round is what I'm trying to say with that. I think Jake can do pretty much the same thing, and in that case, I would probably just 2 forward, clear the stress with the TIE fighter, just get a shot off.
That's true. A little tactical bump there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, does the 2 straight. Tactical bump here. Just keeping the TIE fighter back, keeping the arc on, and hopefully getting some shots.
All right, does Jake go for a block? Not what I was originally thinking. That 1 bank with Vader's looking real scary right now.
Luke right now is in the Matrix. You can hear him talking out all the moves. You guys can't hear. I can hear, though.
Goes for the block on Vader so he doesn't get shot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's always a great strategy. It's like, where is the safest place to be a lot of times is the spot where they're just going to fly past you. It's like, all right. Of course,
and
it always
passes
feels...
the focus to Hera.
Uh-huh. 3 bank here. A little bit of a reset move.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
That could be a little bit dangerous. Though I guess Hera can't quite turn into you because you have the rock.
I don't know. Do you think the 3 hard hits that rock?
I think so. Oh, but did the 4K.
Did the 4K, and looks like we'll have 5th brother.
Yup.
Three hard turn for Vader, though. Says no to the rock.
All right, I like the move here. I like the move by Vader. It's going to be able to trade some shots here with Hera.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing that's interesting is that 5th brother did not stress to get a focus. So it has to rely only on his 2 force.
All right, here we go, Vader. There it is.
Natties.
Hit, crit, crit. 2 evade dice coming through, and got one. That's 2 crits into the hull.
These could be very huge, especially if it's a weapons failure. First one is
a hull breach. Everything's face up, and then fuel leak.
Fuel leak. All right, so that's half points on Hera. All right.
Disable power regulator.
Brother. That's very close to being unobstructed, but
all right, they're calling a judge for the obstruction. And yeah, looking at the line, it looks like it is unobstructed. TTS isn't always perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there that it looks unobstructed to me.
So we're calling it non-obstructed.
Does Hera have a lock? Hera has a lock.
Yeah, she does.
Oof. Rolls it into a blank. Still a good... Uh-oh.
One out the box.
That's a dead 5th brother.
Oh, sure is.
That's big, because he never got any of those homing missiles off.
Here's the thing, though. With the way the points are shaking out, Luke is still behind Brian because Brian hasn't taken any damage yet on Vader, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 3-3-2 still. Vader could clean up Hera if he's careful.
Definitely. This is still a very, very tight game. That is range 2 by the smallest of margins. Gets 1 hit. Blank out.
Oh, Vader!
Wow.
No, the free TIE fighter doing work.
Wow.
The Dark Lord, can he do it? 15 minutes left on the clock.
He's winning right now, but I don't think running is the correct call. He needs to
he's got to get in it.
Yeah, because he never wants Hera to turn in on him.
All right, Hera has 2 ions. Next turn, we'll receive the 3rd ion. So, if I'm Brian, I'm trying to take advantage of a couple things. First, Hera's got a hull breach. Every damage is a crit. You know that. And there's a fuel leak in there. So that means whatever damage you do next turn is automatically +1 because of the fuel leak. If you can get multiple fuel leaks, maybe with what comes in the deck, that's just free money. Free money. Right now, she's got 6 hull left. You could potentially end up with a 4 to 3 health Hera left. Maybe you take a shield and a hull, you clean her up next turn, and then it's Vader versus Jake and a TIE fighter.
The question, though, here is, like, what does Hera do this turn? Because she's stressed. So,
right.
Like, she's not ioned yet, but she will be at the end of next turn. So, she has to try and, like, make sure Vader doesn't do that damage that he's hoping to do.
Agreed. Huh. Where are you going? Man, that little TIE fighter is going to be putting some pressure on Vader, though. This is where that free TIE fighter comes into play. It's like, man, if it wasn't there, I think the positioning's pretty good, but could definitely set up to bully.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Though, I'm kind of wondering what maneuver the TIE fighter does this turn to keep that pressure on Vader. Because if you choose the wrong one and Vader gets away, it could be pretty devastating to Hera. Goes for the one hard. I think that's probably the best call.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps the arc nice and wide.
It's actually a really interesting move because if Hera goes straight, could set up the ion. Well, huh? Well, let's see. Oh, we got a sloop from Jake.
I hardly ever see that move.
Mm-hmm.
2 forward for Hera. Okay.
He is gonna flip probably.
Which crit do you fix?
See, he flipped the hull breach, and I get it, but I think you needed to flip the fuel leak.
I think the fuel leak was a better call anyway. Yeah, because Vader's gonna deal a crit.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, you can't stop me. Unless Vader doesn't have a shot, he did a 4K.
Ooh, that's big.
That's close.
I think he does.
All right, this is going to be huge. This right here will decide the game. He could actually boost with afterburners. I think he's got 1 charge left.
Yep, he still has that charge, but that puts him real close to that rock.
Facts. All right, he's going to leave him there.
Yep, he has arc. Range 2. Oh, man.
All right, we got 2 hits.
Perfect roll.
Fire control.
Doesn't get the extra hit, but that's still 3 damage coming through because of that fuel leak.
Yep. Hit. Crit.
Stunned pilot.
So down to 3 health damage.
Vader could easily take Hera off the board next turn.
Just needs 1 more. And Hera's officially ionized now. We'll be going 1 straight. Little TIE fighter that could.
Range 3. One crit.
He got it. Green dice holding up. Oh, man, what does Vader do next turn? You know where Hera's going to be.
Well, you might know where Hera is going to be. It all depends on what Luke decides to do with that TIE fighter, because he could just do some tactical bumping to leave Hera right where she's at and hope Vader doesn't expect that.
Yep.
Because Vader doesn't have a great way to pursue at the moment, if with just a one bank because of that rock.
Yeah, that's right. Because if Hera does do the tactical bump, the one forward on Vader puts his arc past Hera, and that's the problem.
And the one forward on Vader is also white, not blue.
Very true. So I
if he expects Hera to actually move, a three forward, would probably be the move to call, because then you can do afterburners. But if Hera doesn't move, it just leaves you you have to change your lock to Jake, I guess.
Yeah, I think. So I think one bank is probably the safest move. Doesn't feel great because Jake is going to be bearing down on you, but I think that one's probably the safest.
The question is, does it actually land you on that rock that's there? It'll be awfully close.
Oof. You are right. Oh, man. Oof. Man, right there, that would have been worth the afterburners last turn to know if
just to have that information. Because if you burn the afterburners charge last turn and it didn't fit, then the one bank isn't safe this turn.
We're coming down to the wire. This right here, this has been awesome.
This is the kind of games you want to see, with only, 7 minutes left in this game? It's incredibly close.
I see a player who has something wrong here. So Hera is unable to use her ability on an ion because it's not on the maneuver. Her ability specifically says after you reveal a red or blue. You do not reveal a ion maneuver.
Mm-hmm. Very key difference there.
Yeah, which also means, fun facts, Rick Olay's ability does not work against an ionized ship.
And a very popular Guri with advanced sensors doesn't work either if you are ionized, because advanced sensors is when you reveal your maneuver.
Yep. All right.
This is a very important turn.
Guys, I just got a text from my mom. She's going live on Facebook. you know. So she does like arts and crafts. My mother does arts and crafts stuff. Mm-hmm. I think it would be absolutely hilarious. Would you guys be up for rating my mom's Facebook live stream in between matches? Who would be up for that? I would just post the link in here.
I know I would do that personally.
All right.
I don't know your mom, but
yeah. All right, cool. Well, I'll make sure to get it going. It's gonna be awesome. She's never had more than 2 or 3 people watching. I think she'll be even if only 10 or 20 people go, it'd be great. We don't want any world stream rating problems. I don't live in my house anymore. I'm a grown man. My mom can get mad. It's okay. I think honestly she will like the surprise.
I was gonna say, she's still your mama.
That's right. Then you can ask her embarrassing questions about me. Have some fun with it. All right, here we go. All right, we did tactical bump here. Tactical bump. Jake coming in.
Indeed. does the barrel roll, give himself a focus. Tactical bump for Hera. Nice. I think, honestly, that's probably the best play that could have been made. Depends on how much... Oh my god, it fits.
The one bank fits! Oh!
It fit. Oh, no.
Oh, no! I mean, it was a big play. You had to go for it.
Yeah, you have to, because if you don't, you have no shot on Hera otherwise. Oh, is he going for a barrel roll? I mean, honestly, he probably should because of that rock, and then it would become obstructed from Jake.
I think Vader's just going to hang out there. I would barrel roll to the right with Vader just to get range 3 in the obstruction.
Right.
There's no reason not to do that.
Put you in a TIE Fighter's arc. Yeah. Maybe the reason why he's not thinking... Oh, okay, he does it anyway.
Yeah.
But
the TIE Fighter doesn't have any mods.
Neither did it earlier when it hit him.
I've been hurt before. Fire control, and so dead Hera.
Yeah. Dead Hera all day. So, I almost would have rather spent a force point here to keep that focus.
Yeah, I'm surprised he spent the focus. Correct. Yeah, that is the wrong move. Here we go. We got 2 guns coming in.
I mean, it's the wrong move unless he doesn't need to spend his force on his defense for the rest of this anyway, and then we sound stupid.
Of course. I mean, that's my life. That's fine. 2. All right. Hit crit. Vader's got 5. Safe.
Plenty of evades. Now it's a TIE Fighter. Range 2. Gets nothing.
And Vader is safe.
That was a very big turn.
Brian able to pull it out here at the end. Oh, man. Grabbing victory from the jaws of defeat. Great game.
That was a great game. Now, are we counting the time on the stream or the time that's on the table?
No, they still technically have a little bit of time. Vader's got to survive a turn. One more turn. One more turn. Charge up those afterburners, Vader. Here we go. Does the 5 straight... Now, the 5 straight hits that rock. You do not want to do that.
Yeah, all day.
A 3 bank to the left, maybe?
Maybe. Now the question is,
maybe just a 3 hard to the right. just go down to the bottom corner.
Now the question is, if somehow Luke gets half points on this Vader, does that put him ahead? I don't think so.
Half of Vader is what?
So he's 75 points, so that'd give you, was that 30?
38. 38.
Yep. That is not enough. He has to kill Vader to win.
Yep. Just survive. I mean, I think you just go and choose violence. You go at Jake. You 3 bank at Jake. And if you bump, then you're only taking a shot from the TIE Fighter, and the TIE Fighter most likely can't kill you. 3 bank is the move. That is it.
I don't think the TIE Fighter can unless it's range 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to remind everybody we are going to have 2 more games after this, but in between games, we're going to raid my mom's Facebook live stream. She's making arts and craft Christmas trees today.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell you she's a beginner streamer, so be gentle, be gentle. She will be surprised, but I think
mama.
That's right. Be nice to my mama. Well, otherwise we're gonna fight. Only I can be mad at my mom, okay? That's how it works. And if you or anybody in your family's into arts and crafts, you might learn something. She actually does make a lot of really cool stuff. Yeah, she's making like different type of Christmas trees right now. I know you're like, Christmas in July. Well, yeah, it's Christmas in July. But also like the crafting circuit, it's really interesting. She talks to me about this stuff. Like they're if they're selling, if she's like trying to sell things, you have to make it like 6 months in advance. You're always like 6 months ahead of the season because things go. Yeah, they're itty bitty trees. They're super cute.
Now, one thing that's important with this game. Oh, never mind. We got movement.
There's a 4K. There it is.
Yep. A 1 hard and a barrel roll. Yep. Now, if Vader does plan the 3 bank, he can get out of that real easy with afterburners and a barrel roll and everything. Oh.
All right. So three. I talked about. Okay.
But we're in another situation where Jake can't kill Vader. So. Range. Oh, still deciding barrel rolls, it looks like.
All right, so, I mean, Vader's good.
Vader is, can't kill him. Yeah, he's safe anyway.
He's fine. Good game. Let's go ahead and Alex, let's jump into into their room and give him a chat.
All right.
3, 2, 1, jump.
Yeah, as soon as I lost Whisper, and then I was like, oh no, that's got to be the game. How embarrassing. And then she got the shot back on Wedge, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I have a chance.
So I think Dion's jumped on.
Wow.
Yes, I have. How's it going?
It's good.
Man,
yeah,
Brian, you grab the victory from the jaws of defeat there.
Yeah, I mean, Vader, the Dark Lord comes through, even when his allies don't.
That's right. Hey, Luke, man, great game. Your approach was really great. You had a couple of turns where the dice just decided to flip on you a little bit, with Wedge dying especially. That was I think what really decided the game, not like losing Wedge so quickly.
Actually,
I can't be too salty about that when Whisper died just as easily. So.
True. Well, guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for participating in Gold Squadron Flight Club. You're awesome. I'm going to go ahead and reset the table. Do you guys have any shout-outs before I let you go? Luke, I'll have you go first.
Yeah, sure. I guess just the Black Havoc boys in Melbourne. That's my local crew. That's probably about it.
All right. And Brian?
Am I allowed to shout out, what, Dion?
Later.
Okay. I shout out to just Gigabytes Cafe in Marietta, Georgia, and all the wonderful X-Wing community players that taught me how to play and have helped me, especially Andrew Lippens.
Awesome. All right, everybody. So we're going to let these players go and get ready for our next games. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dion.
Thanks, Dion.
All right. Alex, back to the Batcave. All right. Well, Alex, hey, man, thank you so much for commentating.